Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for an exciting new webinar from the Scripps National Spelling Bee. My name is Julia Fermier, and I'm a program specialist with the Scripps National Spelling Bee, and today I'm going to introduce to you to what we call the multi-school portal. Now, before we dive into today's content, we'd like to get to know you a little bit better, and to help us with that, we have two polls we're going to have you answer for us real quick. So give us 1 second. The first poll is, are you responsible for both enrolling multiple schools and answering questions from School Bee coordinators about study lists and other Spelling Bee materials? And the second question is, how familiar are you with the Spelling Bee resources like Spelling Bee 101 and the school Spelling Bee study list? Now we're just going to wait a couple seconds while answers come in, but in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us today. Excited to talk about this program with you. And we are just going to wait a couple more seconds to get final results in for these polls. Still getting some answers in, so just give us a couple more seconds, everybody. And okay, it looks like almost 94% of you are responsible for both enrolling your schools and answering questions. So very good to know. And over 50% of you are at least aware of Spelling Bee resources like Spelling Bee 101 and the school Spelling Bee study list. And for those of you who are not aware, we have a webinar that we did back in September that's all about those resources. You could find that within our YouTube channel and also within past Bee newsletters that we've sent out. But with that, I'm going to keep us moving. So let's talk the multi-school platform. But actually, before we go into that, I want to let everybody know that please feel free to leave any questions you think of during today's webinar by using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. We will hopefully have time at the end for us to answer some of your questions live, but I'm also very grateful to have members of the Bee's customer service team helping us out today, and they're ready to answer your questions throughout their presentation as well. Now, before we walk through the multi-school portal, I wanted to share a bit about what this new portal is and why we created it. The multi-school portal is the newest feature for schools that are enrolled in the Scripps National Spelling Bee program. In previous years, you were able to enroll and pay for multiple schools at once by working with a member of the Bee's customer service team, and some of you may have just done that. But this year, we've streamlined the process for enrolling multiple schools all at once. And we've provided you, the enroller of those schools, with access to what we call the multi-school portal. This portal gives you the opportunity to view the educator portal, that's the password protected section of spellingbee.com, where educators download their Spelling Bee materials and resources for every school that's a part of your enrollment. So that might be all the schools in your district or county, depending on how you choose to enroll your schools. We're excited to finally offer this special portal for you as part of your enrollment, and we hope that it will help streamline the process of working with your enrolled schools to create the best possible Spelling Bee program for your area. Now, instead of just talking to you about it, we're actually going to go look through it together. So everybody give me 1 second, and I am going to share my screen so we could walk through this together. So the cool thing about the multi-school portal is that you don't have to do anything special to actually log into it. It's what you're going to log in every single time you log into your account at spellingbee.com. So let me get myself logged in here. Make sure I spelled my password correctly. And here we go. Like I said, to access it, you just need to log into your account at spellingbee.com that you use to enroll your schools. A big first visual change you will see that when you log in is this big yellow box here that explains that what you're seeing is the multi-school portal. So this is it. And this just means that you've either enrolled multiple schools or that your account is able to enroll multiple schools. You'll also see this explained a bit further down in these steps here as well. Now, if you ever have any questions with not being able to see your schools, for some reason something's just not working right, always feel free to reach out to us at spellingbee.com/contact. We're here to help you and your school to have the best possible Spelling Bee program, so never be afraid to reach out to us. Now, the main reason we created this multi-school portal is that we had so much feedback from you, our teachers, our educators, our dedicated Bee coordinators, that when you enroll one or more schools, you want to see the school's accounts that you enrolled. Previously, you had to log into each school's account individually with their Bee coordinator's email and password. If you had just like a handful of school, it was bothersome, but it was doable. However, for those of you who had to enroll 5, 10, 20 schools, it was a big lift, and we recognize that, which is why I'm excited to show you how you can now access all of your schools from your own login page quickly and easily. To do that, you just go to the school selector drop-down box in the upper right. You will see all the schools that you've started the enrollment process for. When you switch between the schools, it will take you to that first the account status page. So let me do that for example, private school. It's going to load, and this is the account status page, like I said. Now, this is just so you can make sure that you're looking at the right account, the right school. From there, all the tabs you see on this left-hand menu will now pertain to that school. So all these tabs right here pertain to example middle school. So if I go to prizes and special offers, I'll be able to make certificates for this school. So if I select champion certificate, it's for example middle school. You can see right there. Now, if I were to go to the online testing platform and to create an account, it would be an account for example middle school. And if I were to go to the regional program information, this is where I could see all the information regarding this school's regional program. So you can confirm what's next for this school champion when it comes time for that. And speaking of, you can now easily submit your school champion registration form for all your schools like this, quickly and easily, and most importantly, accessible. And once you're done with one school, you could just select another school in the drop-down box. And now you're accessing another school's resources. So the main point of this is that we wanted to make this quick and easy for you. No more having to log out or log back into an account. It's all here. It's all in one login, one account, quick and easy for you. Now, let's say that you've enrolled your first group of schools, but more reached out saying that they want to participate. Awesome. You're still able to easily enroll these schools by selecting the Enroll School button in the upper left here. From there, a new tab pops up, and you'll be able to begin the enrollment process for those new schools. This is also how you'll be able to pay the enrollment fee for still pending schools. Like if you click Review Status, we can see that Example Academy Elementary, Example Middle, and Example Private School have all been enrolled, and I could download their receipt by clicking Download Order Details. But Tongrit Total Learning Academy and Weeks School are still pending. So those schools their payment has not been received yet, so they're not able to access their materials. But I could download the invoice by clicking this Download Order Details here, or I could pay by credit card by clicking the Pay by Credit Card button. And if I want to go back to my account, I just click here, and I am back within the multi-school platform. That's really it. It's simple, but we wanted to make something that was just hopefully the answer to everybody's questions regarding how they're able to help all of their students in all of their schools. And with that, we're just going to take a side, see if anybody has any questions about this. I've seen that there's been some chat. I have not had a chance to look through the chat, so give me 1 second to look through it real quick. But this is the multi-school platform. I hope this answers a lot of grievances that people have been having so far. Oh, here's one. How can you find materials for your schools? So you're going to find the materials the same way the schools do. So if you're looking for grade level lists, that would be under Classroom Spelling Bee. And then you click Study Lists. Here you could find 1 through 8. And if you scroll down a bit further, you could find 1 through 8 with the definitions. And if you were looking for the school spelling bee, you can find it here as well. You could also find it by going under School Spelling Bee, then under Study Lists. This is where you can find the School Spelling Bee study list and the School Spelling Study Bee list with definitions. And you can also find the Words of the Champions, which is a study list for your school champion. This is also where you will be able to find, let me go back to it real quick, Spelling Bee 101. If you don't know what Spelling Bee 101 is, it is a resource that we made that is a guide towards the very beginning of deciding what you want to do, from deciding that your school wants to participate in a program all the way to how to declare a school champion and the next step for them. It's a really useful guide. So if you ever have any questions about how to format your program, I highly recommend Spelling Bee 101. Oh, and also, something else I'm going to recognize is if you go under prizes and special offers, you'll see we have the certificates. We also have the 1-year subscription for Encyclopedia Britannica. And we also, this is very new as of like a week and a half ago, actually. We are now partnering this year with Epic and Tinker. And so for your school champions and all students at your school, we have different opportunities and discounts with Epic and Tinker. So I highly recommend you take some time and look through this and read through all the opportunities we have. We also have something of Highlights magazine that is really exciting. So definitely make sure that as you go through your school spelling bee program, that you're making sure that your students are getting all the exciting benefits they do by participating in our program. And okay, give me 1 second to go through the questions again. Okay, if you're looking to find the words of the champions for your school spelling bee champion, that could be found under school spelling bee. And then under study lists, if you just scroll down, it is right here in the second paragraph, the 2024 words of the champions. And that is something that you should give only to your school champion, not to your students as a whole. The words of the champion study list, it's a 4,000 word long list. So it's a lot of words. So it really should only be given to your school champion, as that is the study list for all levels of competition post school level leading up to the first 2 rounds of competition at the national finals. So it's only really for the school champion. However, your students are always welcome to use our Word Club app. It's entirely free to use and has resources and study tips and guides and like puzzles and games with all of the words in the words of the champions. And it's entirely free to use, like I said, so that's also a really good study resource that we have. Okay, we have one question. I have enrolled at 27 schools and received an invoice for $180 per school. However, board approval might not be until November. Will the price increase if enrollment is not paid by the end of October? If it does, will I receive an updated invoice? So because you've started the enrollment process before October 31st, you will still have that $180 per school fee, even if you pay it after the October 31st deadline. The increased price is only for schools that start the enrollment process after that November 1st. So if you started earlier in the month, or even if you started on October 31st, and as long as it started before the end of October, you will still get that $180 fee. You will not have that increase of $199 unless you start the enrollment process starting on November 1st. Here's another one. So I have a question about the OTP, the online testing platform. Is there a way I could manually enter students into the online testing platform so that we can give our classroom bee in this format? I noticed that parents had to create an account. With over 150 students, we want all students to have a chance to participate, but can't guarantee parents to sign up. So this is a really good question. Something that I have heard a lot of success with as we get feedback regarding the online testing platform is that if your students are old enough and they have a school email address, that they create their own accounts in the OTP using their school email addresses. Something to remember if you do use this is that school email addresses often have they have a stricter firewall with them. So if the students forget their passwords for their account in the online testing platform, they can't do the reset password function because your district's firewall blocks all non-internal emails from being received to their inbox. So we would need to delete their account and have them recreate them. But if you have a lot of students and you're just worried about not all of them being able to participate using the OTP, having the students create their own account is super easy. All the information they enter in is literally just their email address, their password, and their name, and what grade they're in. And that's all the information that it asks for. None of this information is shared. It's not saved year after year. It's just so they could take the test. But yeah, using their email addresses or school email addresses is often the best way to go about that. And I would also recommend have it be like an easy password. You could have the students all have the same password just for ease of just getting them all logged in and making sure nobody ever forgets their actual password. I've heard some teachers have good success with that. Here we go. How do you download the Word Club app? You download the Word Club app. You can find it on the Apple app and Google Play Store. If you just search Word Club app, it should pop up. It is for use on cell phones. I almost said mobile devices. It's good for cell phones and on tablets. It is currently not supported on desktop and laptops, so you cannot use it on that, but it's perfect for tablets and cell phones. And like I said, it's entirely free to use. It has study tips for all 4,000 words of the Words of the Champion list, so it is a very good study resource. These are really good questions, everybody. Thank you. I'm going to keep. Still got some chat coming in, so I am going to just wait a couple seconds, wait for more questions to come in. But thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon. I know everybody said they're from different parts of the country, but I will say, where I am, it is currently so beautiful with all the trees right now. It is gorgeous outside. It's my favorite time of year. So fun. Gonna wait a couple more seconds for some more questions to come in. Here we go. Is the Word Club app Chromebook friendly? At this time, the Word Club app is not supported on desktop and laptops. It does include Chromebooks. It will work on iPads or any sort of mobile tablet like that, but it will not work specifically on Chromebooks at this time. So we do recommend tablets are fine, but laptops are really not supported using the Word Club app. Okie dokie. Like I said, thank you for the good questions, everybody. It's always so fun to answer good questions. Here we go. We are in Powder Springs in Georgia. Who do we reach out to for help with our spelling bee in our school? So if you're looking for general support, you have questions about how to structure your program, you're always welcome to reach out to us at spellingbee.com/contact. Our customer service team, which I am a part of, is always willing to help answer questions. We respond fairly quickly during the school week. So always feel free to reach out. If you have questions regarding your regional program, by which I mean structure, the dates, the deadlines, I would recommend that when you log into your school's accounts and you click the regional program information, this is where you're going to find the information that is entered in by your regional partner about your regional program. Like you can see deadlines here, you can see important dates. This is where you're going to get a lot of your information from. And it will also have the contact information for your regional partner, who is the organization that runs your regional program. You'd always reach out to them as well for questions about your regional program as well. Here we go. We have two different people in our county who are in charge of the school level spelling bees, but only one of us actually runs the program in schools. How can the two of us access materials on this platform? So this is a good question. And the best way, so I'm going to assume that one of you enrolled the schools. So one of you is the person who enrolled the school. So when they log in, they see this multi-school enroller login page, like entrance page. The way you could have the other person access the materials is if you list that person as the bee coordinator for that school. And this may require reaching out to us at spellingbee.com/contact, so we could just make sure that their email is listed correctly. But this will then allow that person, they would only be able to access the one school, so they won't be able to access everybody's like you can, the person who enrolled all the schools, but it will allow the second person able to access the account because they'll be the listed bee coordinator for that account. Does that make sense? But yeah, that is one way that you could technically have two people access the materials for the one school, one who's the enroller and one who is the listed bee coordinator. Great question. Maybe still some questions coming in, but wait a couple more seconds just to make sure I don't miss anything. Thanks again for, I've said it so many times before, but thanks again for sharing your afternoon with me today, everybody. And it looks like it's slowing down. I'm just gonna wait one more. Here we go. Is a vocabulary supplement required this year or still optional? So the inclusion of vocabulary is entirely up to you at the school level. We strongly believe and encourage school coordinators to have the bee in whatever way works best for them, for their school, for their students. So if you want to include vocabulary, you are more than welcome to. If you do not want to include vocabulary, you also don't have to do that. We at the national level, we do like vocabulary. We've included vocabulary at the national level since 2012. It has been something that's been historically been used for us. But at the school level, you are in no way required to include it. But just know that just because you are not using it at the school level doesn't mean that your student might not experience it further on in the competition, whether that be at the regional bee or at the national level. Wait a couple more seconds, see if any more questions come in. Make sure I don't want to miss anything. And again, if you think of more questions after this webinar is over, you're always welcome to reach out to us at spellingbee.com/contact and filling out a ticket. Again, we respond pretty quickly, normally within a day, within a school week, so Monday to Friday from 9 till 4. And yeah, we're always welcome to help out. Any questions, throw it our way. Always happy to help. I'll wait a couple more seconds just to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'll sip of my tea real quick. Okay. If no more questions come in, well, again, if you still have questions about the multi-school portal or anything else, you could fill out an inquiry form at spellingbee.com/contact. A member of the Bee's customer service team will be in touch within 24 hours, like I said, during regular business, like school week hours. And thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. We hope you learned something new about the Scripps National Spelling Bee program and are excited to dive into the multi-school portal to help your schools throughout the fall. We appreciate all the work you do to help give your students the words they need to shine their light on the world. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. Bye, everybody.